Obviously, didn't get the win, but you got to be pretty pleased. Do you feel like that was the best defensive performance given the caliber of opponent and everything?
It was decent. We did some good stuff, but we have to play more confident on defense. I think we're starting to play better. Guys are starting to trust themselves and what their ability is. But I think there's plays that are out there still to be made, and it really goes into the confidence of the guys on the field. As a play caller, I have to be confident and call an aggressive game, which I feel like at most times we did. But then also the players on the field, they're good enough. They're in the right positions. They know what they're doing. Now it is a matter of confidence and believing in our skills and what we can do, and we will play even much better than what we did.
I know there was the one shanked punt, but how has special teams helped this defense with flipping the field, with kicking a 50-yard field goal and getting points on the board when that seemed like a tough one to make? So
yeah, it's huge. Every yard matters. We go in every Sunday and we calculate. Okay, here's where our average drive started, and here's where their average drive started, and usually the difference in that has something to do with special teams. And so every yard that they give us is huge. And as you look out on special teams, there's a lot of defensive players out there, and I think they understand the importance. And really, honestly, special teams is the first play of defense most of the time. When the other team punts the ball, or when we punt the ball and we run down there and make a tackle, the defense is about to go on the field, you can feel the energy from the special teams unit coming off the field when they make a play. That transfers directly to our defense. Kickoff the same way. We kick the ball off. We go down, stop them inside of the 20-yard line. It creates a lot of momentum for the defense, a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. It's huge. What special teams and defense go hand in hand. It's huge what they're doing. And then you mentioned the 50-yard field goal. When you can make those, make it 14-10, keep it close. It requires the offense on the other side to play a little bit differently. And then once kind of, okay, here's their strategy, here's ours, you can call plays and call defense to kind of match up what you think's about to happen.
When you're about to play an opponent that has the recent history that they do of developing skill players, like elite skill players, and have some on their roster this year, how much do you use that as the message this week, appealing to your guys to sort of step up to that challenge?
They have great players, really good players. Two of the best wide receivers in the country, as everybody knows. But we have to play confident. If you don't play confident against them, you show up and you say, hey, those are the best two guys in the country. Oh, my God. Right? That's what they want. Then the deep pass opens up, and then when you're running backwards because you think it's a deep pass and they stop, then the short 10, 15-yard pass opens up as well. So there has to be a confident approach in it. And we think they're great players. They are. They're the two best receivers in college football. There's no question about it. But we need to stand up and play confident defense, not just show up and say, oh, they're really good. And I think through that, it'll give us an opportunity to cover them. And now, where we put resources, more resources in one area, the other areas have to step up too. So it's going to require everyone in order to be able to do what we have to do. But I want our guys to show up and be confident in the game plan and how we're going to approach covering them and go make plays. If not, good luck.
What is sort of the general balance right now, not just this week, but just this time of the year, where between putting the best 11 guys out there on any given play, but also probably trying to see more what you guys have in the future and mixing some younger guys in there? How are you approaching that balance?
Yeah, we're doing everything we can to win. So whoever we feel needs to be out there to win the game, then they're going to be out there. Now, as you look out and as you get late, deep in the season, and you look at some positions we have on defense, like we talked about special teams earlier, there's a lot of defensive players who are main special teams guys, and they play on a lot of different special teams. In my case, I'm thinking Charles Correa, Manny Powell, Alex Sanford are on every single special team there is. So there comes a point as they get the reps pile up late in the season, the special teams reps pile up. You have to find time to spell those guys and give them a little break here and there. So, another guy's Taj Rael, right? He's on every special team, on every defensive snap. As you get late in the season, you have to find time to spell those guys, and when you do, somebody has to step up and go play. And, for our defense right now, we've really, as practice has gone on, really the guys who we feel are guys that are ready to step up and go play are those young guys. So it's an added benefit that they're getting reps, they're getting experience, but in no way are we looking at it saying, oh, we are where we are, let's get some more guys reps just because. We're trying to do everything we can to stop them on every single play and with the best 11 guys that we could possibly have in there. Now, when Manny Powell runs down on 3 kickoffs, 3 punts, plays every snap of defense in the first quarter, then it's probably a good idea to get him a little break in the second quarter. So that's more of what we're doing right now.
Unless I'm mistaken, Vinaz Cobb, did he play more this past week? What is it that has maybe put him in that category as somebody you guys need on the field?
He's won that job in practice. So we've seen what he can do in practice. And eventually, as our numbers get to what they were, if you have injuries, you have, guys that really what it is sometimes is somebody goes down and you look and somebody's got to step up in practice. And then that person steps up in practice and makes plays and you say, you know what, we need to give this guy a run. And I think Vinaz has done that. And then when he got in the game this weekend, I thought, he looked fast, he looked confident. I think he missed a tackle, but he knows that that's a play he can make. And as the more he gets those reps and experience as a young kid, all right, that's going to be a play he makes in the future. So he won the really the backup job, the guy who gets more reps, and honestly part of our third down package, he won that job in practice. So it's just as a young guy like Vinaz, as he goes through the season, there's the starter, there's backups, and then if a guy goes down or if a backup isn't doing what he's supposed to do, then somebody else is going to get an opportunity, and he has taken the opportunity to run with it. So he will continue to get more and more.
Mike, can you just talk to the development of Hadari Hines this year?
Yeah, it's confidence. And like I started off, I think our defense needs to continue to grow in our confidence and believe in the confidence. And I think the better we play on defense, the better snaps we play on defense, the more naturally you get more confident as a player in that way. But Hines is one of them. You look at him; he's long, he's tall, he can run, he can cover. He's got the attitude you need to be a corner and to be a good cover corner in our league. And he's got all the skill in the world. Okay, now it's when I line up, do I know that as a player and do I believe that as a player? And I think what you're seeing is, there's when the times, both him and Tony Grimes, when they believe in who they are and they play confident and they line up and they just go play their football game and they're not worried about who's in front of them or what happened on the last play or if I got beat, if something happened, they just go line up and play. They have the talent. And he's one of them who, when you see him play confident football, is what you saw this weekend. When he's confident, he goes and he's going to go play the ball in the air, not just play the man. And I think that's more of what we're getting out of him.
I'm curious about 2 guys who are captains but seem to have diminished roles now. C.J. Madden and Darius Coffey, they're just not performing, I guess?
When Coffey was out last week, right? He was on the injury report, I believe, as out, so he was not available. So I know he's had some nagging injury problems here and there where he wasn't available to play, so he couldn't play. And then with CJ, it's a continual just finding ways to improve and finding ways to be effective during the game. As you look as coaches in the season, who's out there making plays, who's out there being effective. Those guys get more play, and then the guys who maybe aren't, they get a little bit less, right? But that doesn't mean if we go have the right practice habits, the right attitude in practice, and he improves and he goes and starts to make some of the plays in the game, that he wouldn't be right up there getting the amount of reps he was early in the season. It's a direct correlation of how you've done, what you have done for the team, what your production is like, how you practice, what your attitude is like off the field. And then that carries over into the game. It carries over into our defense. It carries over into our team. So it's our job to go find the best 11, and then the next best 11, and then the next best 11 after that are going to provide that. And it's a continual evaluation. We evaluate it every single day. But we play guys based on that evaluation.
Who's been Jeremiah Smith in practice?
A lot of people. You almost want to have one guy at the line of scrimmage and one guy waiting downfield with the number 4 jersey on to get the real picture of what it's going to be like. But we got a solid rotation of different scout guys so far playing that position. It's hard to mimic, but we'll do everything we can.
Going back to special teams, what is the dynamic of building special teams? Is that all Coach Shebist? Are you giving input on these are our best tacklers or our fastest guys, or how does that work?
Sheebs is the best special teams coach there is in America, and I've had a few years now to watch it up close and personal. But with that, there's a constant communication between him and the defensive staff of who we think could be effective for him, and then week by week, as bodies change, as numbers change, as people change, he'll come in and say, okay, I got these 3 people, and I need them to play this position. Which one do you think would play the position the best? So there is constant communication between those things. But she's the man. He doesn't need a whole lot from us, other than every once in a while checking in on it.
Just your impressions of Julian Say and what has made him so successful.
Yeah, the biggest thing for him is his improvement over the course of the year. He's become a lot better quarterback from game 1 to now, and he's got 3 sacks on the year that they've taken, and I think 2 of them, he actually just ran out of bounds about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. So he does a really good job of knowing where his eligible receivers are and getting rid of the football, even if it's pressure, if it's whatever it is. He gets rid of the football, even in the dirt, same thing. He's not giving up negative plays. So he's a really smart quarterback. He keeps the chains moving. And obviously he's got those 2 guys on the outside that make life a little bit easier. But he's still got to get him the ball. He puts it on the money. He makes hard throws, difficult throws to the sideline very well. And he, like I said, he can read and he can get the ball to his playmakers, and he knows where they're at, and he knows how to get it to them, where to get it to them, when to get it to them. And when he's under pressure, he knows how to get rid of the football.